Not long ago, I ran away from the house I lived in with my husband. As a married woman, the thought of leaving and raising a child alone was daunting. But I made the decision because I wanted to end the life that I had lived for so long. He pretended to care about me, but it was all lip service. And when I look back on it now, I see that it was all planned. All of his behavior.
Honey, seeing as we're back from the honeymoon, let's go and register our marriage. It will be like the final chapter of our relationship coming into fruition. Besides, our parents have always said that postponing your marriage registration means bad luck. The longer you leave it, the worse luck we'll have.
Oh, really? Don't most people do it later on nowadays? Isaac and Harper didn't register theirs for 2 months and they're doing just fine.
No, seriously. It's proven that couples who don't register their marriage quickly are more likely to fight and have arguments about the smallest things. And I just want to be connected to you, officially. That's why I want to do it now. Otherwise, it's like we're not a real couple. I know we are, but it has that feeling of slightly off couple. Come on, honey. Let's do it tomorrow.
Okay, that's true. You're right, we should do it next week sometime. How about on Wednesday after my water aerobics class? You can meet me at the pool and we can go from there?
Okay, great. Also, I was thinking about you preparing for the baby. I think you should quit your job by the end of the month. Otherwise, you will be too exhausted by the time you get pregnant. It's better for the baby to develop in the early stages in a healthy body. Just think about it, okay?
This month? Well, I hadn't really thought about it properly. It seems a bit soon, don't you think?
It's just because I can't wait to raise a kid with you. I think it will be amazing. Especially if they end up looking like you. I'll be over the moon if they do. It's not like we've got any loans or anything to pay back. We've already taken care of it. Now's the perfect time for you to take a break from work. We don't need the extra cash. From now on, you can rest at home. You can go on nice walks around the park during the day and make dinner for me when I get home in the evening. Then we'll both be happy.
You're right. I would like to spend some time at home doing things for myself for once. I can focus on getting the house ready for the baby that way. I'll ask at work what kind of maternity programs they offer.
Yeah, good idea. I hate seeing you get stressed about those menial work tasks. You always cared so much, but realistically, they don't mean anything to you. Now that we've officially registered our marriage, we're a real married couple. It feels amazing after waiting all those years for you to say yes. It really was worth it.
Yes, it does feel really good. My dream of being married has finally come true. Ever since I was a little girl, this is all I ever wanted.
Let's go out to dinner to celebrate making it official. We can make it another anniversary and go out every year on this day.
Oh, that sounds lovely. Where should we go? I heard a new seafood place opened up in town. It's supposed to be really good.
Oh no, it's okay. Let's go to my parents' house. They said they wanted to see you, so we can go and see them and get dinner. They'll give us free wine. You know how much they love you. And now you're their real daughter. Not that they didn't think of you that way, just because now we're officially married.
Oh, your parents' house? I was kind of hoping we could go to a nice restaurant, you know, just the two of us. Well, I don't know that they do like me all that much. I sometimes struggle with knowing what reaction they want from me. It can be quite difficult. And when I misunderstand, they just look at me like I'm crazy.
Well, you don't need to worry about them. Seriously, they don't care about that kind of stuff. Just be yourself. You've met them so many times. You're their daughter-in-law. They will welcome you warmly, I swear. And you know my parents bought our house for us. That really is kind of them. We should be more courteous and see them more often. Even if it's only for an hour or so. Otherwise, they'll think we're ungrateful. Just this once, okay? Did you forget that they did that for us? We should show how grateful we are.
Oh, well, that is true. I'll try my best to show my gratitude. Your mom is a very good cook after all. I'm sure the food will be tasty. That's when I should have escaped. I should have taken the chance and run away. I should have realized my future. My future as a servant to him and his family. I was so flattered by the princess treatment he had given me when we were dating, I was blinded. I didn't have much money saved due to my family's financial situation leading me to have a poor upbringing, so I hesitated getting married as I knew it was a big financial drain. But he told me that he would sort everything after the wedding, including the house, bills, and expenses if I agreed to marry him and cover the wedding expenses with whatever money I had saved up. His parents bought us a house worth $500,000 and put it under his name, saying that I didn't need to worry about any of it. So I was very grateful for their help and was very happy in my relationship. That was until we registered the marriage.
Don't make plans for this weekend. We've got to go to my parents' house, so keep it free for that. Okay?
Oh, but we went last week. Isn't it too soon to be going again? I love your parents and everything, but I want to be able to relax at the weekend. I've told you before that I find it awkward trying to have a conversation with them.
They've taken care of everything for you in this marriage. The least you can do is visit them. Stop being spoiled. You know that my parents bought this house for you. All for you. You couldn't even rent a flat with the money you saved up. How can you refuse to visit the people who bought you a $500,000 house for you? That's just straight up rude. Look, they don't have a daughter. At least let them treat you like one. Why are you fighting their love and generosity? Just take it and be a good, dutiful daughter. My mom used to tell me every day growing up that I needed to marry a kind young woman who would act as her daughter. She always wanted a daughter, but couldn't have another child. She has trauma, so don't trigger her, okay?
Of course I am grateful for this house. It was an amazing thing to have bought it for us. But I just think seeing them every single weekend is a little bit much. Don't you?
We've only been a handful of times. Why are you so grumpy about this? Anyway, you were talking about a summer vacation before, weren't you? You don't need to worry about that. I'll sort everything out for you.
Oh, really? You'll book everything for us? Could you try and get a flight that arrives the daytime? You know I get anxious arriving at night, especially if it is a busy place. I don't want to have another panic attack like last time.
No, don't worry. We'll be going with my parents. They will organize everything, and my mom is the same. She likes to arrive in the morning. They'll sort everything, including where to go, so you don't need to worry about anything. My mom decided to book a villa in the south of France already. She's booked a place with a pool, and it's only a 15-minute walk from the sandy beach. I know you'll be grateful. She's done really well. You are the luckiest daughter-in-law. Nobody else gets this treatment. Taking care of the house and summer vacation. You are lucky. Even to me, I think I'm really lucky to have such amazing parents. Nobody else I know is treated this good by their parents. A lot of the time, it's actually the other way around.
I really am grateful. It's just, I kind of wanted to go away just us two. You know? Like a couple's vacation?
We can do that next time. Don't worry about that. Our time will come. Besides, you're quitting your job soon. Then you'll have all the time in the world. And you know how easy it is for me to get time off of work now that I got that promotion. We'll have all the time in the world to have a couple's vacation, honey. So my point is that we should go and see my parents more often. To thank them for all they're doing for us, okay? Do you understand? All they want is to see their beautiful, kind, amazing daughter-in-law. They really do see you as their own daughter. They just want to treat you as well as they treat me. Do you get it?
Okay, I understand. I'll try and show my gratitude better. I'll do whatever it is they want, as long as you're happy. But I do want to keep a job. Even if it's just part-time somewhere, I'd like to be able to go out and earn my own money. And, you know, I grew up poor. I want to be able to earn money for myself and give it to my parents. I just want to work enough to be able to give my parents enough money to not have to worry about money like they always have.
I don't see why you are choosing to suffer like that. You don't owe them anything. They never gave you anything to owe them. Besides, I earn money. That's enough for us. Just be nice to my parents, and I'm sure we can sort out some kind of pocket money to give to your parents.
Oh, really? That would be amazing. Thank you so much. Really, thank you, honey.
There's no one else for me. And if I can make you happy, then I'll do anything for you. I don't want to see you struggling with getting a job and straining yourself, so I'll just help you out where I can. I just really want you to be staying at home once you've quit your job. That's all I want. So if paying your parents a bit of money is the price, then I'll gladly pay that for you. So don't think about trying to get a part-time job. I'll see it all for you. Just be nice to my parents and the money will come your way. I'll send them $500 a month, okay? That's enough for them, right? I'm sure they're used to not having any money, so that should seem like a lot to them.
They'll be really grateful for the money, I know that. Even if it is $500 or $5,000, whatever the number is, it still is a help to them, so they will gladly accept it. Again, thank you, my love.
Well, whilst we're talking about it, I've got a favor to ask you.
Oh, what is it?
Well, because I am an only child, my mom has been so lonely for her entire life. So it would be great if you could call her more often. Once you quit your job, you'll have loads of time while I'm working to make sure that she isn't lonely. My mom said she actually felt a little bit sad, because you don't talk to her enough. She was expecting so much and was really excited to finally have a daughter-in-law. But when you didn't message and call her as often as she'd like, she started to think that you don't like her and that you hate going to her house to see her.
Oh, really? I had no clue. I'm sorry that she felt that way. I didn't mean to make her feel like that. But I think it was also a little difficult to catch her at times, as I was working and she goes to sleep quite early. It never lined up properly.
It's not that hard to just call her on your lunch break or something. They pay you to take an hour-and-a-half lunch break at your work. That's more than enough time to call my mom to see how she is. She's your family, after all. That's what you need to do. Just think of her as your own mother and it will be a whole lot easier for you.
Oh, well, yeah, okay. I suppose I could do that, if it were to make her happy.
I should also call your parents more often. After all, I should act like their son, not their son-in-law now that we're married. Let's both try our hardest to make them happy, okay?
Yeah, let's do that. If you were to call my parents, I'm sure they would really love it. So maybe I should try harder. Think of it as calling my own parents.
Oh, Callie! It's so nice to see you! I'm happy you called me to have dinner together today.
Of course, Jenny. I love seeing you and meeting up. I've just been a bit busy with work recently.
Your portion sizes are a little small. Is Ruben not earning enough money? Why is he going to all the effort of working every day if he can't afford to give his wife enough money to buy groceries? Or is this your doing? Do you not feed my son enough? I'm a full-time housewife with many years of experience, so listen to me. Oh, you're not upset that I've said that, are you?
Oh, no, not at all. Don't worry.
Okay. I want to treat you like my own daughter. That involves telling you how to improve. I've lived many more years than you. I know what's best.
Yes, I know. I know you're only trying to help me.
Yes, I am. I don't want you to misunderstand me is all. Anyways, it's almost been half a year since you two have been married, but I haven't heard anything about babies. Is there a problem? The day we hear the word baby will be the happiest day of my life. We've been waiting for it for so long, just wishing you would tell us some good news.
We are trying. It's just not sticking at the moment.
Right. Well, if you're trying, it shouldn't be long. It's just we are so excited to meet our lovely grandchild. Anyway, I'll be going in an hour, so hurry up with that food. I can't wait all day. Otherwise, I might pass away.
Oh, 1 hour. I thought you would be staying longer today. Ruben was saying how lonely you have been recently.
It's better for both of us to be done in an hour. Don't flatter yourself, honey. I need to go home and eat another meal after this. But that's okay. I will train you up in cooking. Also, did you know that Pat won't eat anything if there isn't meat involved? He loves his meat, my husband. And don't add any kind of pre-made seasoning. He'll know straight away. Make it from scratch, otherwise you're going to have a lot of leftovers.
Okay, I'll use my own seasoning recipe. Hello, Jenny. I'm pregnant. I found out last night and couldn't wait to tell you.
Well, that is wonderful news. You did well, you two. I'll go and tell Pat. He'll be over the moon to hear that he's having a grandchild. He loves babies, although he won't admit to it. He's always been like that. But don't bring it up to him or he'll get angry.
Of course, I won't bring it up to him. But it's a little early to be telling people. I just wanted to tell you because I knew how happy you'd be to hear the good news.
When will you know if it's a girl or a boy? I'm going to have to wait a long while, aren't I?
It won't be for a few months. But you'll be the first person I tell when I find out.
Yes, please tell me the moment you find out. I want the first one to be a boy and the second to be a girl. Doesn't that sound good? Then the older brother can protect the younger sister in life.
Well, unfortunately, we can't plan things like that. It would be nice to have one of each, but it took so long just to get pregnant this time around, who knows if I'll be able to have another.
Well, you can't just have one and that be the end of it. You can't have an only child. That's cruel. I know from experience. The first child is bound to get lonely and they have a very hard time on their own. You might not think it's all that good right now, but when you see your child developing slowly because they're not around other children so much, you'll change your mind. Trust me, darling. You'll regret not having another one sooner. I'm just saying because I've experienced this all already.
Okay, I'll think about it and discuss it with Ruben.
There's nothing to discuss. Just listen to me and take my word. I've gone through it all. He'll tell you himself how lonely he was as a child.
Okay, I'll think about it. Thank you for the advice.
Good. We will be coming for dinner tonight, so you'll need to rethink whatever it is that you plan to make and put meat into it.
Oh, you're coming for dinner tonight?
Yes. Why are you so surprised again? We see each other 3 times a week. It was due time that we see each other again. And after hearing the good news, it's something to celebrate over dinner. That way we can build up our relationship for when the child comes and we can look after it together. After all, we are sending money to your parents. You should be delighted to see us. We're helping your family out. Ruben is trying so hard to work things out for them. You should try as well to be kind to us and form a good relationship with us.
Yes, of course. What you are doing for them is amazing. I'm always grateful for that. Thank you.
Right. And don't make plans for this weekend.
The weekend? Why? I was going to meet up with one of my old friends.
Why are you asking why? I've just told you why. We should see each other more often and have dinner to celebrate the baby once again.
Okay, that's nice. Are we eating out? We haven't done that in a long time.
Eating out? No, of course not. You know Patrick hates going outside. Nowhere cooks food how he likes it, and everywhere is overpriced these days. And if you're only 3 weeks along, you won't have morning sickness yet. So let us cook you some good food before you can't eat it anymore. If you buy food from restaurants these days, they add all these artificial seasonings and it tastes terrible. Haven't you noticed? If you're pregnant, you need to look after yourself and eat good food. And on top of that, restaurants don't even use vegetables and meat from the US. They import it from places that have less hygiene and use more pesticides. It's not good for you at all. Even the thought of it makes me feel sick.
Well, that is true, but nowadays people are paying more attention to health and loads of restaurants use fresh ingredients grown in the country and don't have any pesticides used on them.
Okay, but still the food isn't made with love like it is here. Restaurant chefs don't care about the customer, so they chuck the food together without thought. Do you hate food that much that you don't care what goes into it?
No, of course not. I just find eating out a nice experience. It's just the hospital told me not to overdo it. Eating out is just that little bit easier for me. That is all.
Yes, that is true. You wouldn't want to stress out the fetus. But when I had Ruben, I just put up with it. If I can do it, you clearly will be able to. Even if it's easier, it's better to give the baby good nutrition to grow on. I'm saying this just in case. You don't want to stress, but the most important thing is the baby's health. I hope you're not using the baby as an excuse for your laziness. You should still be making food for Ruben when he gets home from work. That's what us women are for, to feed our men until they pop. Otherwise, why would they love us?
No, not at all. I'm still making breakfast and dinner for Ruben every day.
That's a relief. After all, a woman's role is to have children and provide food. You can't skimp out on one just because you're doing the other. I can't see you treat my son any differently because you're pregnant. That wouldn't be right now, would it? It would be shameless of you to marry without a dowry and then put your husband through grief. Remember what he's done for you.
I know. I understand what you are saying, and I will try even harder to make sure Ruben doesn't feel like I am being lazy.
Yes, you can't just reject the obligation of taking care of your husband just because you are pregnant. You've had it easy until now. But just because you're fulfilling both of your womanly roles at once doesn't mean you can skive off. Especially do not slack on preparing your husband a bath for when he gets home. Those office chairs are so rigid. Think about him sitting on that all day.
Yes, Jenny. From what you've heard so far, you might be thinking this is frustrating and that I am pathetic not fighting back against the oppression and obvious sexism. But there was nothing I could do. I had already quit my job and was getting more pregnant as time went by, all while my husband was giving my impoverished family money to live off of. My only choice was to suck it up and keep on living like that. It was me or my parents, and I had to do it for them. After all, I had been given a house worth $500,000 to live in rent-free. My mother-in-law was terribly obnoxious, and her every word irritated me. But what could I do when the reality was them paying for me to live? Married life was tough, and dealing with the in-laws was unbearable, but how was I to live after divorce? After that, I began to think that nothing in life was free, and that you can only live well if you have well-off relatives. However, I was able to endure it because I didn't want to blame my parents and had faith that my husband would always care for and cherish me. Until I realized that this, too, was a huge mistake on my part.
I'm home.
Oh, you're home, honey? I've got something to tell you.
Oh, what is it?
I'm actually struggling quite a lot because of how often your parents are coming for dinner. Even today, they came for lunch and only left an hour ago.
You keep on saying this, but I've told you. You be good to them, I will be good to your parents. You can't always have what you want. This is just something you are going to have to put up with from now on.
But they come almost every day. I don't have any time for myself, let alone take care of myself or the baby. Even after I've gotten pregnant, they've been coming over so much. It's tiring and I'm exhausted.
Can you not just try and understand? Look, I'll be even better to your parents. Can you just put up with it for a bit longer? My parents, especially my mom, have been so depressed for the past few years. But they've really brightened up after you became a part of our family. They just love having you around, that is all. They may not show it on the outside, but they are really happy to have a daughter after all these years. They want to treat you well. And it's your birthday soon. They said they'll buy us a new car.
Oh, really? A new car? But new models are so expensive.
They don't say it, but they are always thinking of you and are always trying to help you out.
They're giving it to me as a birthday present?
Well, it's your birthday, and they said they'd gift you a new one. So, yes, you can think of it as a birthday gift. But you know my dad has slightly conservative views, right?
Oh, yeah, I know that. But what does that have to do with anything?
I think we'll have to put the new car under my name. Either way, it'll be both of us using it equally, so it doesn't matter whose name is on the bill. I know the house is also under my name, but we live together. What difference does it make? You agreed to the house being under my name, so I'm guessing you won't mind about the car. It really doesn't matter anyway. Just a small detail.
Right. It's a little bit of a shame, though, don't you think? It's just because I don't have anything under my name. I don't really have any possessions, especially since they're for me. I sometimes feel a little empty about it all.
Why do you feel empty? It's all ours anyway. We both use the house. Why would the car be any different? I mean, we're getting a brand new car. I don't think there's really anything to complain about. Besides, only we know whose name is on what. So why should it matter to anyone else?
That is true. But even still, I don't own a single thing. All my clothes were bought by you or your mom.
Okay, I understand. I'll try and talk to him after the baby's born. He might change his mind then. You never know. He loves babies, my dad. Just try to not let it get to you for now. You know it's not good for the baby. It's probably because you haven't been a part of our family for that long. If we just try and all get along for now, then he might change it in the future, okay? And if you think about it, you haven't brought anything to our marriage. I know that stuff doesn't matter nowadays, but like I said, he's the conservative type.
That's true. At the time, I didn't have any money to put towards the house or anything. But I did cover a lot of the wedding costs with all the money that I had managed to save up over the years.
That is true, but $10,000 is nothing compared to $500,000, is it? But then again, if it's not comparable, then why would they make you pay any of it, if it's nothing to them? But because I love you so much, I didn't say anything. I just wanted to marry you so much that I thought you could make that money back easily once we were married. In their world, it's all for show. I've gotten so used to having a dual personality when I meet up with them. You have to have a poker face or they will just make a joke of you. All my friends got expensive watches from their wives' families, and when I got nothing, I was slightly embarrassed, but I didn't show it, otherwise they would lose all respect for me. They all think I'm crazy for marrying a poor girl, but I don't care. I love you.
I know. I'm sorry I couldn't do anything like that for you.
That's okay. You don't have to be sorry. But just try to understand my situation and my parents, okay? If you just let them get on with whatever it is they want, then we will be able to live happily without any problems. Money doesn't make you happy, but not having money troubles does. That's all I'm saying. I need to focus on my assets. I work a 9 to 5 and send your parents $500 each month. There needs to be another way to earn money quickly.
Yes, I know. Thank you again for that. Actually, my dad called me earlier. For my birthday, he wanted for us to go on a small vacation. He booked an Airbnb in the country. Are you free one weekend next month to go and do that? We haven't been on a single vacation since we started dating. It might be nice to have some time away from home with my dad. He really wanted us to go away and he would pay for it all. I just said okay because I know it will make him happy, even though it will be expensive for him. So could you please make some time to do that for him?
Go on vacation with your dad?
Yeah. We haven't ever been anywhere with my parents before. They are really fun. I think it will be good. My mom said she wanted to look after you for a weekend as well, as we never go around to their house.
Oh. Actually, it's a bit uncomfortable for me to do that.
What's there to be uncomfortable about? You said so yourself. You want to take better care of my parents, and they love going on vacation. Treat them as your own parents.
Well, yeah, I did say that, didn't I? Okay, fine. It's your birthday, and if that's what you want, I'll go. You'll be too busy once the baby is born as well. It's better to go now and get it over and done with.
What? Oh, are you talking about taking care of the baby? Don't worry, I'm preparing for that. It'll be easy.
Well, yeah, but still, it's a whole child that you have to raise pretty much by yourself. But on the bright side, my parents are moving to the house across the street from us. The one that's been on the market for ages. There's a problem with the drainage, but they can pay to have it fixed easy. You'll have to look after the child and keep my parents entertained, so you'll be very busy.
Oh, your parents are moving to our street?
They said they wanted to be around their grandchild. I couldn't just say no to them. It will be nice anyway. But they said they wanted to move over pretty soon. But I thought about you and told them to wait until the baby is born. I thought that you should focus on the pregnancy and giving birth healthily, so I told them to just wait a few months. As soon as they move over, you'll be even more busy, so it's better to relax while you can now. Also, when you do give birth and they do move over, my mom can look after the baby as well, you know? That's the main reason she wanted to move over here. I'm worried about leaving the baby in another person's hands, so it's better if my mom takes care of it.
Oh, is your mom any good at taking care of children? She is quite cold. I wouldn't want our baby developing some kind of complex because of her. You know how judgmental she is.
Of course. She's like that because we're grown adults. But with babies, she's ever so kind and soft.
Okay, well, if you say so. I should be grateful, right? I wonder if I will be able to swallow my pride after all and agree to everything she says if she moves near us. I find it difficult spending time with her because she has such strong, outdated opinions.
She's easy to please. Just nod and say yes whenever she finishes speaking and invite her over for dinner. That's all. Honey, you know we're going on vacation with your parents tomorrow.
Oh yeah, of course I know. I'm so excited. It's been ages since I've been away with them. They're really excited to have you come with us as well.
Oh, really? I don't actually want to go tomorrow. Do I really have to go?
What? What are you talking about? How can you say this to me the day before? They're so excited. I can't just say you're not coming 12 hours before. It's our first vacation since getting married. Why don't you want to go? I even bought new clothes.
You know I'm shy. You know I can't control my attitude sometimes. I don't want them to think I'm horrible to you. But if I'm trapped on holiday with them, then I'm sure it will come out at some point.
I'm also the same. Sometimes I don't feel like talking, and when that happens, I just go into the other room. And think about how much effort I put in with your parents. I don't always want to see them and have them round for dinner, but I put up with it because you told me to. Just think about that.
Right. Okay, fine. But know that I don't want to go.
Why are you being like this? It's making me upset. I was so excited for this, and now you suddenly say it's a pain and you don't want to go. Watch your attitude and think of me for once. It'll be fun anyway. Stop worrying. You've already packed everything anyway. Why give up and not go now?
Okay, fine, I'll come.
Come here so we can talk. Are you okay? You seem down. Why do you look so upset? Did something happen? You've come all the way here for a vacation that's been paid for. You could at least look happy for them.
We've been out for hours. How much longer can someone look at plants? Let's go back to the Airbnb.
You came all the way here and now you just want to go back to the apartment and stay around? What's the point of coming here?
Please give me some understanding. This kind of laid-back, sleepy accommodation isn't my style of vacation. It's getting harder to look happy when I'm enjoying it less and less. I won't even be able to sleep in a place like this. It's too quiet.
How can you be saying this to me right now? Are you really that rude? You're being too moody. Grow up, please. My mom was so worried about you because you looked so angry at lunch that she didn't even eat anything. Look what you're doing to her on our nice vacation.
If I'm honest, this vacation sucks.
What? What did you say to me?
I'm not even getting anything from your parents. Why am I being forced to come all the way here and have to force myself to look happy for people that are only taking money from me? At least my parents bought you a house.
So you're saying that just because my family are poor, I have to live like this for the rest of my life? Indebted to you for helping me out by marrying me. You had a choice. You didn't have to marry me. You didn't even have to start dating me. But you chose to. This was your decision.
You've been given $500,000 essentially for free. Did you think you'd be able to live like a princess after that? You're acting like a thief. Stop that right now.
What? Are you serious right now? A thief? You asked me to marry you. Wasn't it you that said it was our duty to be kind to each other's parents?
That's about give and take. Give and take. You can't just take and expect to keep taking. But you've got nothing to give, so you have to take and live to pay the price.
I've done nothing for you? I see your parents almost every day. I feed them and entertain them for hours to the point that I am so tired I can't even go out to visit a friend. I'm acting as their blood-related daughter. Is that not what you wanted? What more can I give you?
You're a stay-at-home housewife. What were you expecting to live like? You are only here today because of my parents. Even if you get a job, you won't be able to handle working and won't get any money. Nobody will hire you anyways.
You're the one that told me to quit my job. You're the one who told me not to get a part-time job. You are the one who has trapped me in a house that is governed by your outdated conservative parents. I am suffering more now than if I were to have a part-time job and be out of the house for 4 hours a day. Why are you saying all of this now? I don't understand. I didn't want to quit my job either, but I had to because you and your mom wouldn't shut up about it.
I just don't get why you would drag me here when everything I do for you is amazing. If we were just at home, I wouldn't have said any of this.
The only reason I'm not shouting right now is because I'm worried my parents will hear. I am furious with you, but I can't even show you. I am frustrated and upset. My mom is calling me over. Wait here. My mom said to just take you home. They were worried something was going on with you.
Oh, really? Nice, well done. Let's go home then.
I'm so furiously angry with you right now. How can you have done this to them? Are you treating them like this because they owe you their lives? Is that what you think about all of this? It was their first vacation with their son-in-law since we got married. They planned this vacation meticulously so that we could have a good time. And you just stood there, disrespecting them and arguing with me about the stupidest things.
Callie, let's talk about this at home. Get in the car. What kind of pregnant woman has this much energy?
Mom, I'm so sorry about yesterday. Ruben wasn't feeling good and needed to go home.
It's okay, Callie. Don't worry about it. He's a solo income earner, giving his in-laws $50 in pocket money every month. I am just grateful that he is helping us out.
$50?
Yeah, he gives us $50 each and every month so we can buy little things for ourselves. You know this?
Isn't it $500?
He gave us $500 the first month. But he said that he was struggling with his earnings and had to reduce it to $50 each instead. So he gave us $500 once, but for the time being, it's gone down to $50.
What? So he's only been giving you $50 this whole time?
Yeah. Did you not know?
When he reduced it to $50, did he contact you to say, or did he just reduce it without telling you?
Yeah, that's right. I was the one who reached out to him asking about it. I asked your dad if they had spoken about it at all, and he said he hadn't either. But I don't know why you're asking, honey. Did he not tell you? Also, it would be rude for us to ask about it. We're lucky he's even thinking of us.
Well, no, I don't agree.
He's giving us money when he doesn't need to. We should be grateful for that. Besides, we wanted to say to him that no matter how difficult it is for us, he doesn't need to send us any money at all. But we didn't want you to feel bad about us if we struggle, so we just accepted it. We're happy if you're happy, honey.
Right. Okay. Well, how often does he call you?
Well, maybe for the first few months it was once a month. Now months go by without hearing from him, but we speak to you, so we assume that he's fine. And if we're speaking to you, there's really no reason to bother him when he's so busy.
Mom, I'm sorry. Something's just come up. I need to call you back another time, okay? Tell Dad that I'm sorry about what happened yesterday, okay?
Okay. Don't worry, Callie. I'll tell him. By the way, there's nothing going on between you and Ruben, right?
We're fine at the moment. I'll call you back soon.
I'm back from work, honey. By the way, my mom said you didn't pick up her calls today. She said she kept on calling you, but you didn't pick up once. She called me all flustered, and I had to calm her down.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't pick up.
Why? Why did you do that?
Because I didn't want to.
What? Are you joking right now?
You're the one that must be joking. How can you lie to me like this? You're giving my parents $500, right? They told me it was only $50.
Right, so you're acting like this now all because of that?
You told me to call your parents every single day, and said that you would call mine every 3 days or so because of work. I believed you, like a fool. I really thought you would do that for them. But now I know. Ever since we got married, you wanted to register our marriage with the government. You've put everything under your name and told me to quit my job. You have ruined my life little by little. Every month making me do something new for you. You pretended it was all for me. I needed to do it to keep the baby healthy. That's what you said. You've been training me to be your loyal servant. I know you have.
So, what are you going to do about it? You have no place to go. What kind of company hires a pregnant person who can't even afford to live in her parents' basement? Why would they hire you? Think about it. You have no prospects.
Right. Exactly. And still I believed in you wholeheartedly. I was a fool to think that you would still treat me nicely even if your parents came into some trouble. They are your life. You wouldn't be able to live without them, so why on earth would you care about me? But now I see what you've done to me. I see all the brainwashing. You deceived me like a sly fox.
I don't understand why you think this is all unfair. I've given you a life to live. I've provided everything for you. I'm the one that should be feeling sorry for myself. Are you really trying to live in a $500,000 house for free? Your duty is to serve my parents.
The house isn't even under my name, so how can you say I am taking it for free? It was never mine.
We live there together. It is your life too.
Yeah, but I'm just living in our life. Everything, including my clothes, are owned by you. If I divorce you, what's the harm? It's not like I'm losing anything.
How are you going to live after divorcing me? I am your lifeline.
No, you're not my lifeline. I am going to divorce you. I've already packed my bags to escape from this hellhole. Anything's better than having a baby in the cold, cold environment that is your parents. I couldn't let that happen to my baby. Am I a servant or a daughter-in-law? I don't even know anymore. You said you would give my parents $500 a month to live off. But you were condescending and reduced it to $50 without even telling them. You wouldn't even let me work to give them money and reduced it behind my back. You weren't only trying to destroy me, but my parents as well.
Okay, whatever. But what about the kid? Is it mine or yours?
It's inside my stomach. Why would it be yours? No matter how persistent you are and how hard you try to bring me down, I can't live the life of a servant any longer. The moronic sounds of brainwash that come out of your mouth don't affect me anymore.
If you leave this house, you're done. We're going over to my parents for dinner. Get your clothes on and get ready. Now.
Even in the midst of our divorce, you're trying to get me to cook dinner for your parents?
Really? Just because I didn't give your meaningless parents any money, you're going to leave me? Is this why you got involved with me in the first place?
If I add up the hours I've spent serving your family, I'd be on the same salary as you. Anyway, the house is under your name, so I can't take that, but at least I can ruin your parents by doing this. They've trained me well. Like you said, I won't be able to make a living, so I might as well get paid for all the work I've been doing. I've got more than enough experience. Have a nice life, Ruben. This is my last goodbye.
Hey, come home this instant! You can't just decide to get divorced. It's a two-way street. You're going to make me angry if you keep doing this to me.
I can. You have a dual personality. You deceive me and my family. That is enough grounds for a divorce.
Deceived? I saved them from living like refugees. What more do you want from me?
You're starting to sound more and more like your horrible excuse for a father.
Did my dad ever speak to you about paying back our favors?
No, not me. He said it to my mom.
What? Your mom?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can guess what your mom started feeling depressed about. If your father treats her like you've treated me, then it all makes sense. Of course she developed depression in an environment like that.
What on earth are you saying to me right now? What gives you the right to talk about my father like that?
She must have wanted to look good to her husband so she wouldn't get shouted at. It all makes sense. She called me lazy for not cooking for you, and all it was projection. I feel sorry for her. Your father hates eating out, so your mom gets attention from him by ordering me to make the food for them. That way she gets attention for getting the food sorted, but doesn't get told off when he doesn't like the food. Instead, I get the anger. Your dad doesn't even want to drink coffee because of the creamer inside it. It must be hard for her to do anything for him. She told me to only prepare the freshest vegetables and to use prime-cut meats only. She was telling me this so that she wouldn't get shouted at.
Hey, stop talking about such nonsense. You're not making sense at all. Just say it straight, woman. What are you on about?
Your dad is flirting with my mom. He keeps calling her and sending messages. He keeps sending inappropriate photos. Your mom doesn't want to receive his frustration, so she orders me to make all the food. All while he is sexting my mom. Of course he blocked his number, but it really is hilarious.
What? No. Please, no.
When my mom first told me, I thought it was some kind of intimidation. No matter how normal he seemed to you, he was belittling your mom at every chance he could get. My mom didn't tell anyone about it at first because Seth thought we were getting on really well after getting married and she didn't want to mess that up for us. So she just put up with it. The hundreds of messages a day. But when I went to her house yesterday with all my bags saying we were getting a divorce, she told me everything.
Do you have evidence? You don't have proof, do you?
Are you stupid? I literally just told you he was sending pictures. That's the evidence, you idiot. You really want to see that? I'll send you one of the gross ones.
Dear God. Okay, that's enough.
You're surprised to see your father's face in such an angle, aren't you? He really spent a lot of time taking these photos. The face ones are the usual, but if you're lucky, he'll send a topless one.
I can't believe it. My dad wouldn't do that.
The hilarious thing is that he kept sending photos of... down there. In the nude.
What?
Was it yours or was it his? They looked very alike.
Hey! Stop lying! You're lying to me!
I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw the photos. But we're a couple. I've seen yours many, many times. It was in such detail, I could see all the veins and hairs and everything. They looked very familiar. It seemed like he wanted to appease my mom, but he did it in a very strange way.
How can I carry on living like this when the whole world will know my mom is depressed again? Everyone knows what that means. They're probably wondering which woman he's trapped in his snare this time. They know everything, those people. They have too much money, they do nothing but gossip.
Okay. Well, what am I gonna cover my mouth with? My parents are also very displeased with this whole fiasco.
You can have the car. And the house.
Oh. Is there nothing else?
Oh, it's just... it's under my name.
Don't you have any savings? If you don't, you better ask your despicable excuse for a father. I should get paid for all these photos. They'll go for a high price.
Oh, okay. I'll do what I can for now. Please don't tell anyone what happened. Or show anyone those photos.
Okay. But I'm feeling like my mouth might grow a bit bigger after a few days. From holding in such a big secret. It won't last more than 3 days.
Oh, I'll give it to you right now. Please.
Oh, great! I'm sure you've got a lot to do, so I'll hang up now. Let's settle this divorce quickly, okay?
Yes, definitely. Please don't ever tell anyone. Please.
Yeah, whatever. I promised, right? Now that I remember, is your father going to be running for president of his very, very big company? I wouldn't want him to get caught up in this scandal.
Are you insane?
Why are you waking me up?
What have you done to my mom?
What? Has something happened to her?
Don't act like you don't know. I gave you everything you wanted. I divorced you. I gave you our house and our car, and I gave you hundreds of thousands of dollars to keep your mouth shut. Why did you send my mom those photos?
Oh, well, I recorded all of our calls and took screenshots of all the photos. But you never said not to tell your mom.
What? That should have been obvious.
You said not to tell anyone I know, including people you work with and people we went to school with.
Well, obviously you shouldn't have told my mom. That goes without saying. It is obvious. My whole life has been turned upside down. They're getting a divorce.
Oh, really? That's a shame. Well, if we hadn't have gotten a divorce, everyone would have seen it in real time. But thanks to the divorce, it's coming out now. And it's only between your mom and dad. You should think yourself lucky. I was curious if she would ever find out, so I just helped her along the way slightly.
You are insane. How can you call yourself a human being after doing that?
I don't think it's me you need to be saying these things to. And now, because it's a sad time for me after losing my child, keep your family's affairs to yourself. I don't have time to be worrying about things like that.
What? What did you do to my child?
What do you mean, what did I do? I did nothing. I guess the baby was so embarrassed to have such people as their dad and granddad that they didn't want to be in the world any longer.
What? How could you do that to a life living inside of your belly?
What? You think I did that? You did it! And your mother. I was told I had to be careful at the beginning stages of pregnancy. How can a child survive in a belly that is being treated as a servant? I'm thankful that my relationship with you is over forever. I was so excited to become a mother. I can never forgive you or your parents for what they did to my baby.
Is this why you sent my mom the photos?
Yeah, I did. I don't see why you're making such a fuss over a few pictures. What I'm sending now is even more amazing than before.
My mom will faint. She can't handle stuff like this at all.
Not my problem at all. You better stop contacting me now if you don't want this to get any worse for you. Otherwise, not only will your mom know, but the whole world will. Everyone. All of your parents, friends, and acquaintances. Even their business partners.
Hey, please don't do this.
You just don't know when to quit, do you? Sorry, buddy. Now the world is going to see it all. So I cut off ties with my husband. He was still out of his mind until the end. My ex-mother-in-law still hasn't managed to divorce her husband and is living a horrific life going back and forth from the hospital saying that she is dying and for them to save her. She finally went crazy. From the way I see it, it seems that those three will live out the rest of their lives like that. I find it crazy how I went into that house and put up with living as a servant for those insane people. On the outside, they seem like normal people. Stupidly rich people, but as normal as rich people can get. It is sad to think that I thought I would live my last days in that household because I haven't accomplished anything before getting married. But now, looking around me, I realize that wasn't necessarily the case. Seeing other families treat their daughters-in-law as their own, with kindness and warmth, I realized that that family were less personable than most. In the end, they turned out to be monsters, subhuman. Now I have somewhat overcome the sadness of losing my baby, and I found a new job and I'm working hard living with my parents. I can live a good life from now on. Divorce. I was scared at first, but after doing it, I think I did a really good job. It's terrible to think that if I had not gotten the strength to end that relationship, I would still be living a horrific life and my ex-mother-in-law would never have found out what her husband had been doing for years. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up and subscribe to see more content.